Hello everybody, I'm Teacher Yusen and today I'm back again with our APMOPS preparation videos. And today the question we'll be dealing with is this year's APMOPS Round 1 question 19. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the question right now. The question says, a pest control center caught 94 rats and 49 squirrels on the first day. And every day they catch 2 more squirrels and 3 less rats as compared to the previous day. And now, on what day the total number of squirrels caught will exceed the total number of rats caught? So, with that being said, let us think. Oh, this question is asking us about rats and squirrels, and the number that they are catching every day is different. So of course, the first thing we can think about is we list them down and see what are the changes. So well, for each of those days, let's say on day 1, there are 94 rats and 49 squirrels. Then on the second day, there are 3 less rats than the previous day. Oh, how many rats are there? There should be 91 rats. And on the third day, just 3 less again, right? 88. And followed by 85. So that is the number of rats. What about for squirrels? It's just 2 more every day. 51, 53, and 55. And this actually goes on along and along all the way until as many as possible, right? And we want to find, what is the total amount of squirrels? Oh, no, that's a small problem. We realize that the rats and the squirrels, this number is changing. What do they resemble to us? What have we learned before? They seem like an arithmetic sequence. Oh, it is an arithmetic sequence, and since they want us to find the total number of squirrels being more than the total number of rats, total number among an arithmetic sequence, how do we do that? Some of us might have already learned before. Then we'll have to use Gauss formula, and that allows us to find the sum, which is the first plus the last multiplied by the number divided by 2. Oh, here it is. But no, that's another problem. If I want to find the last, do I know what is the last day that it is? We do not know what is the last day. And we do not know how many rats and squirrels are there respectively. So what can we do instead? Well, there's one simple way. We can let the last day be x as a variable. And if the day is x, whoa, how do I find the number of rats? To find the number of rats, we see every day it decreases by 3. So between the first day to the last day of x, well, there is x minus 1 intervals of 3. So that means it is just going to be 94 minus 3 bracket x minus 1. 3 represents how many each day is decreasing, and x minus 1 represents the gap between each day. And with that being said, what about for squirrels? Squirrels every day is increasing by 2. So with that increase in 2, it is just going to be the first term 49 plus the number of gaps times 2. Oh, so now I have found out the number of rats and squirrels on the last day. Now we are able to apply our Gauss method to find what is the sum. And here, what is the sum? Just now we have found out that the rats and squirrels are as follows. And the first and the last term, we are able to add them up, multiply, and divide by 2. Starting off with rats, it's just going to be 94 plus 94 minus 3x minus 1 times how many terms are there? There are x terms divided by 2. What about for squirrels? It is exactly the same as it. Oh, here it is. So with that in mind, the question says, oh, the number of squirrels must be more than the number of rats. Oh, that means we can try to find when are they the same. And then the next day, definitely the squirrels will be more, right? So with that, let's take a look. When we compare the rats and squirrels, we can just assume that they are the same. What happens after that? After we put both of them together, we realize on both sides that is times x divided by 2. What can we do about it? We can cancel them and simplify it into this following. And then the next thing we do is we open up those brackets over here. And we are able to get that the left and the right to be this as such. Once we have this, well, we want to put all of the variable on one end and all of the constants on the other end. And that gives us 191 minus 3x equals 96 plus 2x. And then I put all of them on each side. Now, what can I know about my value of x? Oh, my value of x is just going to be 19. And this tells us that on the 19th day, the total number of rats is equal to the total number of squirrels. But that is not enough because we want it to exceed, meaning that it must be more than the total number of rats caught. To be more, I have to add one more to it, and that gives us the answer of 20. And we are done with the question. Oh, so what have we done? We use a variable and then we equate the two equations together to find our answer. But some of you might realize that this is very confusing and long-winded. What else can we do about it? Well, aside from that, just now when we were talking about the sequences, instead of looking at each individual sequence, what else can we be looking at? We can look at the difference between those sequences. Oh, what is the difference between the sequences? Let's see. From the first day, the number of squirrels is actually 45 lesser than the number of rats. On the second day, it is 40 less than it. On the third day, 35 less, and then 30 less, and so on. Do we see the pattern now? Every day, the total number of squirrels is going to be 5 lesser than the rats, all the way onto 5 and 0. What happens after they reach 0 then? Oh, you realize that number of squirrels will now be more than those of our rats. Next one, 5 more, 10 more, 15 more, so on, all the way until 45 more. Well, what do we notice about 45 more? Well, on this specific day, if we look at our table over here, the left and the right, what are they? It is also known as being symmetric. The left and the right are exactly the same. Oh, so that means the total is equal now between our rats and squirrels. The number is exactly the same. So now what do we have to find? We have to find the number of days before we reach this last day over here. Let us see how it is like. From 45 to 5, how many days is that? That is just going to be 9 days. On this last day, 0, one more day over that. From 5 to 45, since we know that it is symmetric, how many days is that, everybody? Just another 9 more days. So in total, we just add 9 plus 1 plus 9 equals to 19 days. For 19 days, the total number of rats is equal to the total number of squirrels. Oh, and we realize we just have to add 1 to it, and it exceeds the number. So now, what can we know about this? Well, this way it is much faster and easier to understand as compared to writing down the equation. Oh, so what can we conclude from these two ways to solve this question? So now we look at a summary of what we have learned in this question. Well, when we are dealing with questions like this that involves multiple arithmetic sequences that we have to compare, right? So, well, there are two different methods that we can use. The first method is that, we let the number of terms be a variable. Just now we set it as x. And once we set that variable, what else do we do? Well, we find the last term of that sequence. And then with the last term of the sequence, I'm able to find the sum and compare between those parts. Aside from that, what was the other method that we used? Well, we realized that, since the parts are symmetric, right? So if they are symmetric, then what is the same? Their sum will be exactly the same. Alright? So as long as it's symmetric, the sum will be the same. And that is all that we have learned for today. No, that is not the end of our session because there's still our practice questions behind. So with that being said, that is all for our session today. And if you have any problems, feel free to just message us in this WhatsApp group below. With that, thank you and bye-bye.